Hi everybody, Kathleen here. I'm back in the USA, and for those of you who don't know, I did a blog of weekly statements of what it was like living in Mayo, Ireland for an American, and I was there for 16 weeks, and I just wanted to wrap that little set of videos up with this update on what's happened since I came home, and I also wanted to give you some news on what to expect going forward, because I'm not going away, so I want to tell you what to expect. So it's been almost 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks this Friday that I've been home, and I think you need at least a week to get used to the new place. I mean, I had the same thing that went on when I would stay at the seashore in New Jersey for a couple of months, and then I would come home here in Pennsylvania, and you'd need a week to just get settled back in and let go of all those things that you had at the previous place. So first of all, I came home to 4 months worth of mail, so even though I had been checking on it with my sons periodically and they helped me sort through it, still was a lot of mail to go through. I'm still not done. And I also came home to a house. My two boys live with me, so they're not the neatest. They did their best to try and pick up before I came, but of course I've spent a lot of time cleaning and just getting the house back to the way I like it. And the garden was overrun. I walked up to the front steps, and there was a vine going all across. It looked like I don't know, something out of Gingerbread Man or something, where there was just wilderness had taken over my house. So I have to get that attended to. And then the biggest thing was I came home to COVID. Yes, you've heard right. COVID came back here. Luckily, I never got it, but I came home and my youngest son had it, so I stayed away from him. I didn't wear a mask because I guess I was just tired of it, and I thought, well, if I get it, which can be dangerous, I guess, but I did give my oldest son big hugs, and so like 2 days or 3 days after I got back, he came down with it. But they're both fine, and they're both back at work now, and I've tested negative, so I just escaped the demon COVID. And of course that wreaked havoc with my plans. I had planned on seeing my two sisters and my brother when I got home. My one sister had planned a little lunch for us, and I had to cancel that. I had planned a hair cutting appointment, which you can tell I really need. I had to cancel that. And then I also set myself into isolation for about a week and a half, and I went back to ordering groceries online and all that. So that was my life when I got back. Yesterday I finally went out for the first time, and I've started to walk again. And what did I do as soon as I got home was, the big thing was food. I had missed a lot of different foods. My sons got me my Turkey Hill iced tea. That was ready to go when I got home, and got a lot of the pre-made salads. I hit the local pizza shop, of course, got a big pizza with double pepperoni, an order of cannolis, an order of pierogies. So I really went to town on that. So that's what I was doing since I got home. And so what can you expect of me going forward? Because you don't want to lose me, and I don't want to lose you. I have, in my mind, I have what I would call setting the stage. I've realized that I don't think Ireland alone is going to cut it for me. I think I have this wanderlust going on in me. And one of the things I've been daydreaming about is cruising for a long time, just to see what it would be like. Of course, I don't know if I could afford it. So that's another thing. I need to look at my finances. I really need to grow up and get them in order and figure out how much money I have, how much I have coming in, and whether or not I really need to take another job on to supplement what I have. You may or may not know the way I finance, one of the ways I financed my trip to Ireland, the 16 weeks in Ireland, was that I put in a year-round renter into my shore house, which is where I was living because the two boys were living here in Pennsylvania. And that income helped to pay for getting an apartment in Mayo. So I need to figure that out. I really need to take a look at that. One of the things that I did was I started a little book on what all my accounts are, what all my passwords are, what all my phone numbers are. So if something happened to me, someone could easily go to this little book and get that information. And biggest thing for the finances, I really need a budget. So I'm going to take a hard look at what I spent in Ireland, and I'll share that with you. And I also am going to take a look at, what I need to live and if I can afford to travel. And so that's number one. Number one is the finances. And number two is health. To go somewhere, I really need to have everything up to date. I think I've shared with you, I probably need cataract surgery, so I'm going to look into that. I'm getting a physical done in a week or so. And biggest thing of all is my weight. I put on weight when I was in Ireland, and I really need to get back on that. Weight is the biggest obstacle or biggest thing that causes health problems, and especially someone in my age. So I want to be healthy. I want to be at a good weight. And so I'm going to share, how I'm doing that with all of you. One of the things that I've been doing is this thing called intermittent fasting. So I'm going to share that. So you'll learn about finances, you'll learn about my health, and number three is minimalization. I want to get rid of the clutter in my life. I've been doing this for a while, but honestly, there's still a heck of a lot of clutter. I mean, I'm just going to share that with you and how I do that. I'm going room by room and trying to get rid of things like, stupid things like going through all the spices and throwing out all the expired ones. I went in my kitchen the other day and I found this chopper thing. I mean, I've never used it. I've probably owned it for 20 years, it seems like. And I couldn't get myself to throw it out. And I actually went up to my youngest son who cooks, and I said, "Are you sure you don't think you could use this?" And he's like, "No, don't want it." So I threw it out. Big thing. I threw that out. And that's the thing, got to get rid of everything. And then the biggest thing, the fourth thing, is genealogy, which I thought my trip to Ireland was going to be this time where I was going to record all about my Frayne relatives or some other line of descent and get all that organized. And all I did was gather more information. So I am going to set up a separate video just for ancestry stuff, and that's the thing that I'll share to this Facebook group because it's really focused on ancestry and genealogy. And I'll give you some tools and tips and how I go about things, and and then also the history, my own history, and how possibly we connect, because I think that if you go back far enough, of course we all connect, but if you're interested in learning about how to set up your family tree and you come from Ireland or anywhere actually, I'll give you some tips and tricks on what I do. And if you happen to be a relative of mine and are interested in the Fraynes, the Duffys, the Walshes or Welshes, the Philbins, the Scanlons, the Begans, come see me and listen to my little updates, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to give myself another 16 weeks to do this. It's the same amount of time that I gave myself in Ireland. I figure by the 13th of December, I'm going to have all this done. We'll see, right? And I'm sharing all this with you to tell you, that I had a wonderful time in Ireland. It was great. And if you liked listening to my weekly updates, I encourage you to listen to the next 16 weeks. The one video will be on finances and minimalization and health. And if you have any personal goals, come along with me, because you can start off fresh with me. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to achieve my goals, and you can use the same tools to achieve your goals. And then I'm also telling you this because the other video that I'm going to be creating is the one on genealogy. So if you're interested in that, come along for the ride. And love to you all, and I hope you have a great day, and looking forward to the next 16 weeks, and then the adventure will really start. Where will I go? What will I do? We'll see. Okay, bye.